The living jack-o'-lanterns of Brindlewick. Every Halloween, Brindlewick held a modest little festival. Paper lanterns, caramel apples, and a pumpkin carving booth. But one year, something extraordinary happened. Something whispered for generations. Mrs. Wren's pumpkins were the brightest, roundest, most orange pumpkins anyone had ever seen. But deep under her garden, ancient roots hummed with forgotten magic. On the morning of October 31st, Mrs. Wren noticed something odd. Her pumpkins weren't where she left them. Some had rolled across the yard. One particularly large pumpkin had somehow climbed onto her porch steps. She blinked twice, shrugged, and blamed the neighborhood kids. But as night fell and the moon rose, a huge, silver-blue moon that seemed to buzz with energy appeared. The pumpkins twitched, then shivered, then sprouted glowing eyes. At the stroke of 9, the pumpkins rose on vine-like legs and began to march toward town, glowing faces carved as if by invisible hands. The children returning from trick-or-treating stared in awe. An entire parade of walking jack-o'-lanterns came bouncing down the street. Instead of scaring anyone, the pumpkins joined the festivities. One helped stir the cauldron of apple cider. One chased giggling dogs in playful circles. Several lined up at the costume contest and insisted on being judged. A pumpkin in a tiny witch hat won first place. Mrs. Wren simply sighed, folded her arms, and said, "Well, it was bound to happen eventually." The magic continued to flow through the playful, living decorations. As the clock neared 12, the pumpkins gathered in the town square. Their carved mouths smiled as their glow softened. A hush fell over the observing townsfolk. Then, in a voice like rustling autumn leaves, they spoke as one. "Thank you for giving us faces. Tonight we danced. Tonight we lived. Until next Halloween, keep your lanterns lit." With that, they froze, vines shriveling, their glow fading to nothing. Returning to ordinary pumpkins, though each wore the faintest trace of a real grin. As Mrs. Wren approaches the silent display, the townsfolk murmured about the unbelievable night. The strangest Halloween in Brindlewick's history was over. Every year after that, Brindlewick carved their pumpkins with extra care. They lit them with warm candles and whispered little stories to them, just in case. Mrs. Wren still maintained her garden, always growing the finest specimens. They pretended not to expect anything unusual. But a hopeful expectation remained. Everyone left a little space in the streets. A clear path, almost waiting for something. The space was subtle, never discussed directly. But the quiet hope permeated the autumn air. What if the parade came alive again? The memory motivated their meticulous preparation. Every detail was perfect, just in case the ancient roots stirred. A silent pact was made with the magic beneath. The silver-blue moon began its ascent once more. The townsfolk waited, watching their porches. The children held their breath. Would the vine legs sprout tonight? The clock ticked toward the hour of the dance. They never spoke of the parade openly, but they always prepared. The lanterns burned brighter, a beacon to the underground magic. And old Mrs. Wren would simply smile from her garden, just in case. The magic waits for the next Halloween.